welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have Mars and Beyond. This is an old school Disneyland documentary of sorts. It's from the Disneyland TV series that used to be on ABC back in the day. This is from 1957. So yeah, and it runs about 52 minutes long. Although the last like 5-10 minutes of it is an ad for the next episode, which is about horses in Frontierland. Now, the Disneyland series did take its themes, what it would focus on, based on the different lands in Disneyland. So you'd have Adventureland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland. This one is obviously straight out of Tomorrowland, and we get to see what what people more than 50, 60 years ago, 40, almost, yeah, 60, and then, yeah, so a little more than 60 years ago, what they believed Mars might be like. And it actually even goes back and looks at what man first imagined the heavens to be like, the stars and the planets and the moon and everything else. And, we went from very primitive understandings of maybe that it was angry gods or mystical beings, or the stars were actually pieces of the moon and the sun as they traveled through the skies. Obviously, all that stuff was wrong. Of course, then there's philosophers in Greek, from Greece, tons of philosophers who had so many big ideas, and so many of them were wrong. But again, they were dealing with just philosophy, with just a belief that they're just spinning tales to impress the girls or the guys. Either way, they were spinning lots of tales, just based on what little they could observe from such a distance. The invention of the telescope brought them a little bit closer, and as telescopes got better and better and bigger and more powerful, it gave them even more knowledge. So that's what this was really all about, seeing our evolution of how we imagine Mars to be and how we imagine our universe to be and how it exists. It goes this is not just about Mars. This is not just about what do we think this planet is like. It gives a little bit of a science history lesson, which might have been really controversial back in the time when everybody believed that God made everything in 6 days and took a nap on the seventh, because God is limited to days of the week that, obviously we created. So, anyway, but it had to be very kind of controversial because this is science, and it's saying that things that we may not be the center of the universe, we may not be the center of our galaxy or even our solar system. The idea that the sun is at the center of our solar system, that the world is not flat and it's not on the back of many pillars or elephants on top of a flying turtle. It's none of those things that we've been able to show through science and just clear observation. You flat earthers may not appreciate this episode, but it does give credence to the idea that somebody had thought about the flat earth thing many centuries ago. You're now wrong. Just deal with it. Anyway, the animation, this is mostly told through animation. What is also great is that it is introduced by Walt Disney himself. So you get a few minutes in black and white with Walt talking about this episode, and he just says, "Here you go. Here's one of the things we'd like to talk about, like to examine," and then it takes you on this animated journey. Just has this nice. It's not retro then, but it's super retro now. It's so beautifully stylized. It's humorous. It's not all sciencey and serious. Paul Frees, which you might recognize the voice. He's done his share of voiceovers, but he pretty much takes you through the entire history of how the world observed the heavens, and particularly the planets, and especially Mars. Taking you all the way into the 20th century, talking about beyond just the philosophers of ancient times. There's even the Dark Ages. There's even talk about the science fiction writers of the 20th century. Edgar Rice Burroughs, like we saw with John Carter just a few days ago, he gets a mention. H.G. Wells with War of the Worlds and their alien contraptions invading our planet. There's so much that is packed into this 52 minutes. It's kind of amazing. It does eventually delve into a very studious looking scientist pointing at globes and explaining things. So it might be educational, but then once you I think it's colorized. I think it was originally shot in black and white and somebody colorized it. I don't know. It looks a little rough at points, but it is over 60 years old. So when you get through that, they talk about the possibility of space exploration. You remember, this is 1957. This is well before we ever met. We actually had an idea that we were going to go to the moon, that we actually went to the moon. And realizing that all the ideas they have for spaceships and space suits and so many cool designs. Again, it's one of the staples of the now retro Tomorrowland. The style, that looks, the feels of all that, and I miss Disneyland so much because of this episode. Just to watch the ideas of these guys discussing what the spaceships would look like, which were basically just big flat pizza dishes with a pole down the middle and an atomic engine, and then they would have rockets that would attach to that and then take people down to the surface. It's kind of amazing. Although most of the time, again, with the spaceships and everything else, it's all speculation. There's no facts. It's just ideas. But when they're speculating about the population and what Mars actually looks like on the surface, they go back over and over again the idea that there is plant life. Now, in order for there to be plant life, unless there's some different basic structure, molecularly or atomically or whatever, you need water. And yes, we have found water on Mars most recently, but nothing to the degree where we see living plants moving around and eating each other, or the idea of alien life, just non-sentient animals just living on this planet. The design of the creatures is it's just absolutely beautiful. I want to just paint it across my walls just because it's so cool looking. So yeah, it's if you're interested in seeing a little bit of fun, retro, futuristic science and science fiction and speculation, this is a beautiful piece. You got to take your time. If you've never seen this, look at our past, look at our future, see how much we got wrong in both directions, and just take it in. It's something. Even if you turn the sound off, it's something great to look at. So I cannot recommend this enough. So yeah, you got to check it out. Mars and Beyond on Disney Plus. It's a good time. I usually wouldn't say that about a documentary, but it is actually, and again, it doesn't feel like a documentary because it looks like a cartoon most of the time. It's just so beautifully animated. Can't shut up about it. Like until now.
269.
269 is tomorrow's episode. I think I know what this is. I'm not sure. It's got Iron in the title. We just missed the other Iron Man movies. This one is Iron Will. 269 is Iron Will. Is there a dog involved in that? I think there's a dog involved in that. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow with Iron Will on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. See you then.